Good morning. I present the topic monitoring and controlling in software project management. After the work schedule have been finalized, the project is underway. Concentration must be focused on ensuring progress. This requires monitoring of what is happening, comparison of actual achievement against the schedule, and when they necessary, revision of plans and schedules to bring the project as far as possible back on target. Creating framework. Ensuring that targets are met is a matter of regular monitoring, finding out what is happening, and comparing it with current target. If there is a mismatch between the planned outcome and the actual one, then either replanning is needed to bring the project back on target or target will have to be revised. The initial project plan has been published. Project control a continual process of monitoring progress against the plan and where necessary revision the plan to take account of deviations. The important steps that must be taken after completion of the project so that the experience gained in every one project can feed into the planning stage of further project, thus allowing us to learn from past mistakes. We are normally concerned with departures from the plan in dimensions delaying in meeting target dates, shortfall in quality, inadequate functionality, and cost going over target. Responsibility. The overall responsibility for ensuring adequate progress on project is often the role of the project steering committee or project board. Day-to-day responsibility will be with the project manager, and in all but the smallest project, aspect of this can be delegated to the team leader. With small project employing less number of staff, individual team member usually report directly to the project manager. But in most cases, team leaders will collate report on their session progress and forward summaries to their project manager. This will be incorporated into project level report for the steering committee or directly progress report for the client. Assessing the progress. Progress assessment will be made on the basis of information collected and collated at regular interval or when specific event occur. Wherever possible, this information will be objective and tangible, whether or not a particular report has been delivered. Progress assessment will have to rely on the judgment of the team member who are carrying out the project activities. Report type, examples and the comments are oral, formal, regular, that is weekly or monthly meeting, that maybe the oral report or the formal minutes should be kept. Then the next report type is oral formal ad hoc, that is end of the stage, that is a review meeting. On the review meeting, there is a largely oral informations to receive and generate written reports. The next type is written formal regular. That is formal report is there. Then there is a Excel sheet or there, that is a formal one. These sheets are weekly reported. Then written formal ad hoc. The exception reports, change of reports, anyone, that is the formal ad hoc. The next one is oral informal ad hoc. That is the discussion of social interactions. Upon provides any warnings must be back and end up by formal. Then setting checkpoints. A series of checkpoints in the initial activity plan need to be set. Checkpoints may be regular or tied to be specific events such as production of a report or other deliverables. Taking snapshots. The frequency with which a manager need to receive information about progress will depends upon the size and the degree of risk of the project or the part of the project under their control. Team leaders need to assess progress daily, whereas project manager may find weekly or monthly reporting appropriate. The higher the level, the less frequent and less detailed the reporting need to be. The formal weekly collection of information from staff carrying out activities is favored. Cost monitoring. Expenditure monitoring is a vital component of project control because it provides an indication of the effort that is going into the project. A project might be on time, but only because more money has been spent on activities than originally budgeted. That is, the amount spent on activities than the originally budgeted activities. The cumulative expenditure chart provided a simple method of comparing actual and planned expenditures. The current status of project activities has to be taken into account before attempting to interpret the meaning of recorded expenditure. Cost chart become useful if we add projected future cost calculated by adding the estimated cost of unplanned work to the cost of already incurred. Where a computer-based planned tool is used, revision of cost schedule is generally provided automatically once actual expenditure has been recorded. Prioritizing monitoring. Critical path activities. Any delay in the activities on the critical path will cause a delay in the completion date for the project. Critical path activities are therefore likely to for close monitoring. Activities with no fees float. Free float is the amount of time an activity may be delayed without affecting any subsequent activity. A delay in any activity with no free float will delay at least some subsequent activities, even though if the delay is less than the total float, it must not delay the project completion date. These subsequent delay can have serious effect on our resource schedule, as a delay in the subsequent activity could mean that the resource for the activity will become unavailable before the activity is completed because they are committed elsewhere. Activities with less than a specified float. If any activities has very little float, it might use up this float before the regular activity monitoring brings the problem to the project manager's attention. It is common practice to monitor closely those activities with less than 1 week free float. High risk activities. A set of high risk activities should have been identified as part of the initial risk profiling exercise. If you are using the PET 3 estimate approach, will designate as high risk those activities that have a high estimated during variance. These activities will be given close attention because they are most likely to overrun or overspent. Activities using critical resource. Activities can be critical because they are very expensive. Staff or other resources might be available only for a limited period, especially if they are controlled outside the project team. In any event, an activity that demands a critical resource requires a high level of monitoring. Okay, thank you.